Hello and welcome back to the Nottingham Forest career mode. In this one we play another 4 games in the Championship as we face Brentford away to start this one and then have an absolutely massive title decider against second place Middlesbrough, and then we also play Rotherham and Fulham to end this one today. And we start off away at Brentford, who we beat by 4-1 at home, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that good goal scoring form from the last episode into this one and win by a couple of goals. But Brentford did start the better team. They pushed us back with a couple of early chances, and that was really the first chance we got as the goalkeeper pushed away a dangerous cross. But as you can see here, Brentford again getting another chance. They were the better team in this first half, and really we were lucky not to be 1-0 down early on. Again, some great play leading to Hotter taking the shot, but again saved by Bentley. But that was half time. 0-0 is a bit disappointing because Brentford, I think, are a struggling team this season, even though they did get into the playoffs last season in real life. I still think they're a bit underrated. But to get into this game in the second half, I try and go a bit more attacking, and Lansbury getting a chance there early on, really should be sticking that away as our top scorer, but he doesn't then, which was disappointing. But I was sloppy at the back as well, and Tesh gave it away there, and another chance for Hotter, who hit it straight past the post. I thought it was in at first. But again, they get another chance, a great ball into the box that was, and Vibe hits it over the bar. But I decided to bring on Ryan Mendes for Stendera, who had been a bit disappointing starting alongside Lansbury. And here, Tesha getting a chance and hitting it past the post, really should be doing better as well, getting that on target. But this is an absolutely awful goal to concede. What is Bentley doing there? Absolutely shocking. And Hobbs hit it straight up into the air. It was just a comical set of errors there. I just can't believe it. I didn't even bring him out, he just ran out. Like a headless chicken. An absolutely shocking goal to concede, and we really look like we might lose our first game since September. I was really frustrated at that point, and I hit it straight wide with Lansbury there, so I decided to make some more changes, bringing on Jamie Ward and Osborne as players were getting tired as well. And in the 92nd or 3rd minute, there's a lot of space opening up here. There's some longer just on the shoulder of the defender, hitting the shot into the near post, and what a goal, and what a way to get back into the game. Really didn't deserve it, but that's the mark of champions, when you can get points when you really don't deserve them away from home as well. And that was basically the last kick of this match, and we drew, and I was so relieved because I really didn't want to lose away to a team like Brentford, really, who aren't doing that great. And from there we go straight into a training session as well with the same promising players that we hope to be using in the future. And Demarai Gray going up in a couple of stats again. He is getting close to a 70 in particular. And Lenglet came in wanting to play the next game against Middlesbrough. As you can see there, only a point clear of them at the moment, but 6 points clear of 3rd place as well. So this is a really big game in the title race, and hopefully we'll be able to get 4 points clear off Middlesbrough, who are a good team. So we're going to have to play well in this one. But yet again, we start another game slowly, and against a team like Middlesbrough as well, it's lucky that we weren't punished early on as we scrambled the ball away there, and they put a cross in again as well as we were in our own box, but luckily managed to get it away eventually. But there weren't any really good chances at the start of this first half, and that was really the closest they came through Stuart Downing, who hit it past the post, a bit of a P-roller. But this was an absolutely excellent attempt from Teshin, a great save from Dimi Konstantopoulos in the Middlesbrough goal. But it ended 0-0 at half-time yet again. No one scored in this first half, and I was getting a bit of confidence because we were being pushed back, but we hadn't conceded. So I decided to change the formation a little bit. We were a bit narrower than that, so I decided to play with a bit more of a wing approach to it. And we have a chance early on there. I think it might be Mendes who hits it straight at the keeper, but it was a bit better at the start of this second half. And we get a chance as well with a corner, and Assombalonga puts it away. And he's in a good bit of form at the moment. I'm happy with Assombalonga, who is starting ahead of Oliveira from the last episode as he scored a hat-trick against Reading. But Middlesbrough hit the post there, and we were lucky to get the ball away yet again. A great chance, and Middlesbrough were really starting to put on the pressure after we went 1-0 up, and again another chance where it hits the post and we had to get it away. We really were hanging on by the skin of our teeth, so I decided to bring on a couple of players just to get us a bit more impetus in the midfield. And Stendera, one of the players that came on, showed the ball across the box, but it was cleared by one of our ex-targets, Emilio Ensue. And yet again, Gray cutting inside as he always does with a chance late on as the game became more stretched. But it ended 1-0, an absolutely fantastic result against a brilliant team like Middlesbrough, and we kept them at bay as well. And they are probably one of the top scorers in the division, if not the top scorers, because we haven't scored that many ourselves. But it ended 1-0, and we were 4 points clear of second place and 6 points clear of third, which is absolutely brilliant going into the last 10 or so games of this season. So we went into another game against Rotherham, who are another struggling team. And after seeing no goals in the previous 2 matches in the first half, I try and start this one well and get a goal early on against a team like Rotherham, who do concede probably a lot of goals, with Demarai Gray having his cross palmed away by Lee Camp, who also saves another chance for Nelson Oliveira, who really should have hit it towards one of the sides of the goal rather than right down his throat. But Rotherham get a chance as well through Bowery, who sees his shot well saved by Daniel Bentley. But we were pushing them back as the half went on, and there was another punch there from Lee Camp to keep the cross away that time. But we got a free kick about 30 yards out as Ebesilio was fouled, but Stendera had to take this one as Lansbury wasn't in the side, and he hits the post with a great shot really. But it eventually got into the arms of the goalkeeper, and we didn't take advantage of that one that time. But Gray here with a great bit of wing play. It's good to see with the formation not as narrow as usual. But Ebesilio hitting the shot, and it's well blocked by the defender, probably Danny Collins actually, the ex-Forest man as well. But another game that finished 0-0 at half-time, which was disappointing. Really, we should be getting the goals in these games against teams that are not up the table like Rotherham. I'm going to make 2 changes at half-time because players were getting pretty tired, especially the fullbacks, so I brought on Danny Pinillos for Chris Cohen. But Rotherham still the lead in just the 3rd minute of the second half through Bowery. It was a pretty poor clearance from Daniel Bentley, who had been disappointing in this match with some parries and not really getting the ball into his hands. And there, another chance for Bowery to make it 2-0, and then Oliveira gets a chance, and I'm just have no confidence scoring there. And it was well saved that time, so straight away I bring on a Sumbalonga for Oliveira, because I'm feeling that if he might get behind the players, he might do it with a bit of pace, so hopefully he'll do that. But Rotherham get a fantastic chance here to make it 2-0, with Thorpe hitting the post and then looping it into the air, and eventually it does find its way back into the box, but it's another header straight at Bentley. Really should have been making that 2-0, but Burke there with a great bit of play to hook it over his shoulder, with Paul Green, the ex-Derby midfielder, picking it up, but eventually finds its way to Stendera, who hits it into the back of the net. What a shot that was. First time, more or less. I mean, all he had to do was turn, hit it, didn't really look, up and under, absolutely fantastic, and he made it 1-1 when really it looked like we might have been suffering a really shock defeat at the hands of Rotherham at home. But Ebesilio there looking to nick the win, hitting it past the post. But that is how it ended. A really disappointing game, to be honest, only to draw it 1-1. It was a bit of an after the Lord Mayor's show, really, with the Middlesbrough game, which, to be honest, we didn't even play that well in either. It's been a few disappointing performances from the last episode in contrast to that anyway. Another training session as well, and some disappointing growth, although Bentley does get a B that time as we go into the final game against Fulham. And in the last game against Fulham, we drew 0-0 as well, so hopefully we'll get a better result this time, even though it is away from home. But Fulham start this one well, and Taggart getting a chance there, but he had to turn on it, and it was straight at Bentley. But Lonergan hitting it straight at Sumbalonga, with Mendes getting a chance, and really should have been putting it in that left-hand side of the goal, but Lonergan saves it well, and it is parried wide. But Fulham again getting a chance, hitting the shot, and it just goes past the post. I thought that one was in as well, and Demarai Gray with some tricky feet hitting the shot, but it wasn't really good enough to test Lonergan at that range. And then Cohen getting a chance in the box, and that was a fantastic save as well to get it away from the goal. It had a lot of power behind it, so it was a really impressive save. But for the 4th game in a row, it ends 0-0 at half-time, which is absolutely shocking. We should be getting the goals in these matches, especially after how good the last episode was. So I bring on Jamie Ward for Mendes. I think it might be because these players are tiring quite a lot, so I'm having to mix it up quite a bit. As you can probably tell, I'm bringing on Oliveira as well and taking off Sumbalonga all the other way around, because I'm not sure who to start. But Ward with a great bit of play there, hitting across the box, and it was picked up by Parker, who nearly put it into his own net. And again, as I've just said, Oliveira coming on for Sumbalonga there, because I wanted a goal sooner rather than later. And that happened as Gray picked it up, cut inside, and hit it past Lonergan finally for a goal, and we went 1-0 up. It's been some pretty tight games in this one as well, but we've been winning them, and that was a shocking bit of play from me, giving it straight to Kaka Nikolic, I think it was, who hit the post. That really has saved us in this episode, and Ward picking it up yet again with Lansbury, I think it was, trying to get on the end of that, but it went past him, and he hasn't scored a goal in this episode. But look at this for some shocking play, and again, they were through with Kaka Nikolic, but it was another good save from Bentley that time. I say another good save, it was just a good save from Bentley. It's probably the only save, more or less, he had to make in this game. And yet again, we won by 1-0. So there were 2 1-0 wins and 2 1-1 draws in this episode. So at least we kept the unbeaten run going, and we had some more training at the end of this one. And Lansbury's a 77, Bentley's a 76, and Gray's also a 70 now, which is also really good to see. And with a game in hand, we're still 4 points clear at the top of the table, so we're looking to win the title now. And look at this next episode with Derby County away in the league, and then Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final. An absolutely massive game, probably the 2 biggest games of the season so far. And then we also have Blackburn and Bristol City, I think it was, as well in the league in the next one. So that is the end of this episode, and if you like this one, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe as well if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on Tuesday for that absolutely massive episode against Derby County and Manchester City in the FA Cup. Take care.